Welcome back to another video. It is October 25th already, and it will be the last video for this month, and I don't know if I'm going to post a video next week. I have a pre-recorded one set to release, and then I might post, I might not. Might take a break. Starting with the precipitation, because I cannot access the previous outlooks because the government shut down. We see, this is what I'd probably say is above normal, with this area near normal. That seems like a generally high number for just 1 week. We've already seen a lot of rain here in Chicago. We have seen we've seen more than 3 inches of rain this month. So it's not a bad number. So now I do need to go into temperatures. If I can set it, yes. We're going to start Monday, and I'll show today's and tomorrow's later. Monday at 1 a.m. it's gonna be kinda warm, but it cools down somewhat cools down. 30s here, 40s everywhere else. That's a little warm, especially like Chicago, like 47. That's warm. And then it does get kind of warm. Cools off again, not as cold as it has been. Today it felt like 28 degrees at 7 in the morning in Chicago. Cools down again on Wednesday, but it doesn't get as warm. And we do see kind of a larger cool off in this area, but it's still warm probably because of that lake. And it gets back up into the 50s. We just keep seeing the 50s. But it doesn't seem to cool that bad. And Halloween looks pretty nice. 58 degrees at 4 p.m. in Chicago. It's going to be in the 50s everywhere. Even 60s further south you go. And it doesn't cool off that much. So it'll be generally nice. 52 in Chicago. It does get into the 60s. 60s are going to show up a little bit more, with then they're cooling off, and then this goes into next week's forecast. But for today and tomorrow's forecast, this shows 7 a.m. This point it is now 10 a.m. almost. Yeah, 10 a.m. almost. It's supposed to be 46 degrees, and I cannot get the current temperature for some reason. But it will warm up into the 50s everywhere. Low 50s, maybe mid-50s over in this area and over here. But it's not going to be too bad. It cools off a lot less. Only down into, like, yeah, you've got the 30s up here, and then the 40s, mid to upper 40s there. Tomorrow it is supposed to get somewhat warm. 60s in this area. So it's not going to be bad. That's like, it's good temperature for this time of year, and it is not supposed to rain. You might see traces of rain depending on where you are, but it's not supposed to rain too much until you go further down south. So now I think it's time to look at the foliage report, which shows just kind of how the leaf colors are doing, because we know they've started to change later than normal this year. Now, looking at that foliage report, this updates on Mondays every week, and we can see this is moderate color, that orange zone, I believe. Or high color. It's high color there in these orange zones. The golden zones are going to be what we'd say it's moderate color. If I'm correct. Yes, moderate color. And then those red zones really far up north is the peak color. So I'm hoping that this orange starts to move in this way, with that red starting to move south more. And then that brown way up north is past the peak, and that's when all the leaves have fallen. And then real quick, I will go into that hurricane, which is really far down. It is a very powerful hurricane, but it seems like this year we won't get hit by the low pressure remnants of it, or any hurricane. So that's kind of why we haven't seen, wouldn't say cold, but We haven't seen as extreme rain events as we normally would, because sometimes those are caused by those tropical storms and hurricanes. And this is a Category 4. It's supposed to get very powerful very quickly. It's a tropical storm right now. Its name is Melissa. But that's what it looks like on satellite. So it will become a very powerful hurricane as it hits Jamaica. But that is all for this week's video. Please consider subscribing. The goal is 670. Oh my gosh, I just said it. 70 degrees by December 1st. So please consider subscribing, liking the video, sharing the video. Thank you so much for watching.